The show is made possible in part by its supporting sponsors: Blue Water Power Group of Companies, Joe's Discount Tire, and AskGuy.ca. Always coming into people's homes. I say it every week, never know what you're going to see, but we've got a nice keyboard in the background. We've got guitars, and there's a lot of creativity in this room, and that's part of who this young lady is. McKenna Farmer, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and I think I said to you earlier, you know, I'm excited because I've watched you grow from afar. I think about 14, 15 years old when I first knew you. I think you babysat my kids a couple of times. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
And of course, know your dad and stuff. So you like Sarnia?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. It's born and raised here, and I have a lot of friends, a lot of family, and I like it here. You've been involved in a lot of things too.
Tons. But growing up here in Sarnia, like, talk about like school and family. How was that?
Yeah, family was great. Parents divorced at a young age, so I kind of had best of both worlds. Lived in Sarnia with dad, right behind Northern. And Errol there, so I went to Errol Road and Northern. French immersion the entire time. Probably can't speak a lot of French.
I was going to say, can you still speak French?
It's on my diploma, but I don't know that I can. And then grew up on a farm, horse farm, with my mom half the time too. Cool. So my stepdad's a horse trainer, so it was kind of cool. Best of both worlds: city life and country life. Home life was awesome. School was great.
Were you good in school?
No.
Oh,
never.
Really?
I wasn't not good in school, but I've kind of always been the type of person that has been, if I'm interested in something, I'll put the effort in, and if I'm not interested in it,
fair,
I don't. So I kind of, my parents were a little mad at me there for a bit, but I think in grade 10 I failed math and science.
Oh, wow.
But I still graduated. So it's okay.
Are you using math and science now?
I use math with interior decorating and design, right? So measurements. But that comes easy now because it's something that I'm doing every day versus parabolas and stuff. Like, why did I even know what that is? I don't even. I think
can't even spell it. If I can't spell it, I'm not doing it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, let's talk about that. I know there's so much in between there that we could talk about, but let's get right to your career now. What's your official title?
I am the home decor specialist at Teppermans. It's not really a new program, but a lot of people don't really know that we even exist. So we're a team of decorators. There's one of us at each store. And we all work as a team together and work with like realtors and builders to do staging for new builds, which that isn't always what we do, but that's a part of our program. And then I work with customers coming in that are looking at buying furniture, and they're like, I don't know how this is going to fit in my space. So I have a program called Sweet Home that I use. That's it's like Chief Architect, but like much lower. So I render out spaces for clients so they can see what their potential purchase is going to look like in their house. And then I add like a bunch of decor and stuff. It's quite fun. I enjoy that big time. So
how did you get involved in the design thing, or where, like, did that come from mom or dad or a friend? Or?
Definitely mom. She's always had an eye for it. She's always been really good at it. It was always something that I wanted to go to school for, but I was scared with the math part, and I always wanted to go to school for design, right? Like for 4 years, a bachelor of design, but I just like knew how I was in school and didn't think that I would succeed, which I probably should have just done at this point. But I took 4 years of music school, specialized in singing in Toronto, and loved that. Great experience. But then I came home and I was like, okay, what now? So I taught at Van Goosen for a bit. I worked at Patty's for 7 years, and then I was like, okay, I need to go back to school to do something that's actually going to get me a bit of a career. So then I made the leap and I went to Fanshawe for interior decorating, where I learned all residential design. So not commercial, but I did learn like kitchen and bath and all that stuff. I need to get better at that. But so that's.
But you're sustaining yourself with it now, and you know you're doing something that you've become passionate about, and from what I hear, well, of course, Dad has said great things about you. She's amazing and wonderful at it. But I've talked to other people and they're like, yeah, she's really good at what you do. So
I enjoy it. It's something that's doesn't feel like work. So that's good. So
cool.
yeah, if you guys are looking for decorating services, come to Teppermans and see me.
There you go.
It's free.
Right? Well, careful what you wish for, because I know Jennifer
right?
and I were talking about rearranging some things or whatever. So we'll take you up on that. But in between all of that, like the music side has really been a big part of your life. And when did that begin? Like, were you 4 or something, or one of those stories?
Yeah. My mom, well, I guess my mom and my dad, but at some point somebody put me into piano lessons because I wanted to do piano. And on my very first piano recital, I decided I was going to sing. And my mom was like, why is she singing? Well, the teacher said all she wants to do is sing. So then they put me into vocal lessons, and I started right across the street at Van Goosen.
Yeah.
Sarah was my vocal teacher like for years.
Cool.
Yeah, and then I got involved, and my mom started putting me, well, so did dad, in theater. I started with Carrie Beauchamp in Hidden Talents.
Yeah.
So did that for years and years and years with my sister. Then got involved with Nightingales. Well, actually, in between this, I was involved with, I don't know if you remember Blue Water Musical Productions.
I do, briefly.
Way back in the day. So I got my starring role as Annie when I was 9 years old, I think.
Wow.
So with Bill May, he was Daddy Warbucks.
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot about that. I do remember that.
Yeah.
I think I went and saw that,
yeah,
actually.
And my dog was Sandy, so that was so fun. Yeah, I missed that company. It was awesome. So, yeah, and then just from there, I just sang all the time.
What is it about singing that you enjoy?
Everything. I don't know. I like meeting people that are musical. I like being able to express my feelings when I sing. I don't know. I love everything about it. I just... I'm constantly singing, like literally. That's why I live alone.
That's right.
Yeah, totally.
My wife sings in the house all the time. It's okay.
It's all right.
And do you prefer like just singing or performing? And what I mean by that is like there's the theater side and then singing, or just going out there like a Taylor Swift and putting on a show? Yeah,
just more the singing. Actually, it's funny when I look back, I'm like, how did I do that when I was 9 years old? Like, how did I remember all of those lines? I remember even there was a part where Bill forgot a line on stage.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to save his butt on stage, and I did at 9. And I'm like, how did I do that? And kids are resilient, right? It's easier to do that when you're a kid. But yeah, just the singing kind of performance side I prefer, which is why I like Nightingales. I still love doing that theater aspect of it, but Nightingales, there is a storyline, but you choose to do the acting if you want. And Carrie does put me in some scenes, and she knows that I don't love it.
She makes you get out of your comfort zone, though. She knows that's how you grow.
Yeah. So yeah, even performing, sometimes I get nervous. I don't feel sometimes as confident as I should because I know I'm really good, but I think that I could get better at guitar, like accompanying myself and piano and stuff, so that I'm like more confident just to like jump on it. And
then you got to chew gum and walk at the same time.
I know.
I can't do that.
So
right?
I'm good at it in my house, and then when I like think about it, I'm like, oh god. So
yeah. Well, and that being said, though, that's why you're recently picked to be a part of Sarnia Sings.
Yeah.
And
looking forward to that.
Was excited to see when you applied, and I remember saying to Adam, like, I know this girl, you're gonna want her in there.
Yeah, I'm excited. It looks like a cool show. I haven't actually got the chance to see it because I was away last year.
Right.
And, but from what I've seen from the little clips, it looks really cool.
There's some very powerful performers in there. There's so much talent around this Sarnia area, right?
Tons.
And then of course the mental health awareness and suicide prevention aspect to it all.
Yeah.
Is that important to you as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Why is that?
I guess just like growing up, we had, when I was in high school, we kind of had that, I don't know really what to call it, string of, there was quite a few suicides when I was in high school in Northern, well, a couple schools, but there was quite a few that happened. So, I think it's important for people to talk about it. So I think it's important to have things like this that support that, right? So it was weird to go through that as a teenager in high school, and so
How did you cope with it?
Probably music, let's be honest. Honestly. Lots of singing. Honestly, whenever anything happens in life, like I always turn to singing. Like there's not a moment where, if somebody passes away or whatever, there's not one moment that I just don't want to sing a song for them and post it for everybody to see and be like, this is how I'm grieving or, sharing my emotions, I guess. So
we need to talk about it more. I think you're right, or express it, which
absolutely.
I think is a great way. And you say with the singing and performing, that's
I don't think people like really take into account how important mental health is, and I think therapy is really important. Even if you don't think that you need it, you probably do need it, right? So
I think
we
all have a form of it. I think it's fair to say, right? And different levels of intensity of it for sure, right? And is it something you can talk about with family, like as well? If
absolutely.
Open conversation.
Family's all really supportive. Dad, I'm an open book with him. I tell him literally everything. So we're two peas in a pod.
He probably pries it out of you sometimes.
I don't even think he needs to half the time, honestly. So no.
You're good at sharing.
He's my biggest supporter. Well, my whole family is, but
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. And is this music, like how far do you want to take that? Like, could you ever see that as a career for you? Like, would that be a goal?
Yeah.
Or at least a part of it?
Maybe. Like I said, I get a little nervous with the performing part. If I had a band probably behind me the whole time, then sure, I could definitely do it. But I would like to even get back into teaching sometime soon and just, doing that part-time. I miss that. Just, I guess, ish.
Yeah.
That's my
somewhere
answer.
On the line.
Yeah.
Timing's important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Big time.
So you're doing your design, and then you've got the music in there. Are you involved in some other things locally? Like, do you volunteer anywhere?
I also teach at the college part-time. That's my other job that I do. Do I volunteer anywhere? Not really. I don't have any time to.
Right. What are you teaching at the college? The design?
Yeah. I teach materials and surfaces so they have a certificate program through Lambton.
Yeah.
And I teach, I want to say Seneca, Durham. There's a couple schools in there. I have a bunch of kids every single semester that I teach. So it's all online, just modules. I don't actually see them ever face to face, but it's a really great little side gig. And I learn lots doing that from the students. I was going to say, what have you learned from that? Just that what I think is easy, people don't think is easy. Mm-hmm. So, my course is very measuring square footage to find flooring, measuring walls to find paint, just like the basic materials and services of interior design. And there's some people that just don't get it. So
that would be me.
Yeah. So it's nice to be able, and you know what I mean? I have international students and stuff too, so they use a completely different system than we use. And so kind of navigating that has been interesting, but I have one final project at the end of each semester where they have to completely, basically not renovate a house, but choose the flooring, choose the paint, wallpaper, and then I get them to do mood boards for every single room that they've done. And it's cool to see people's designs and how they put stuff together, because some of them are absolutely whack, I will say, but some of them I'm like, well, okay, you're gonna do well. So.
I actually have a system for designing already.
Okay.
Her name's Jennifer.
Okay. Yeah.
I just can't. I don't. But that's really a skill, for you to be able to walk into a room and go, maybe like you must walk in and just see it all. I mean, do you see it immediately, or do you just got to kind of wink a couple of times, or you got to sit down or is every situation different? No,
there are situations that I walk into and I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is what I know will work. For example, I had a client the other day that I walked into her house and I was like, oh, I can definitely put a couch along. She had a massive, like, red leather, old, big, chunky couch, right, that she wanted to keep. So I said, we can definitely put it against that wall and then, find 2 little accent chairs. It'll fit. And then when I put it all in the plan, I was like, oh, I'm just kidding. Like, and I had to rearrange the whole thing, right? So it's get rid of the couch, get a new one. Yeah, that was one of my suggestions, but it wasn't happening. So yeah, we worked with it. So that must be part of what you do as well. Like you establishing some relationship and rapport with the is it a customer or a client? Yeah, that's always been something that I've been like really good at. I think I get it from Dad, the socialness of that, right? So, yeah, I have a really good time just like sitting down with people and building that relationship with customers. And even sometimes they want more than just what Teppermans can offer them. So, they get me on the side too, which is kind of cool. So yeah, and so I was going to say, can you do any of this on the side? I do, yeah, every now and then. Just like a styling service kind of as of right now. eventually I'd like to make it more, and I will, but it's going to take a bit. So yeah.
Building relationships is a big part of all
Huge.
of that, right?
Yeah.
And well, having your dad in your corner certainly as a cheerleader.
Yeah. And I have a lot of relationships with realtors because I used to do staging and stuff. So I feel like I could make it. It's just a matter of getting her done,
What's the struggle? What's the struggle to pay the bills and keep your head above water?
Basically, yeah, that's it.
I know this is a lovely apartment, and it's kind of hidden. We won't say exactly. It's somewhere on Mitten Street. It's a beautiful apartment. Thanks. And we talked about the cost, and you're like, I'm never leaving this place because you've got a really good price on this.
Great deal. Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about that? Do you observe what's happening in like the housing industry,
all the time? Yeah.
What's your thoughts on what's happening? And do you have any suggestions on how to improve it?
Just make everything cheaper for us so we can afford it.
But how do we, people say that all the time, and I get it.
Yeah.
And, we don't have to go down any rabbit holes here, McKenna, but, people will say, well, the government and the carbon tax and all this stuff. Okay, have your opinions on that. But prices go up, they don't go down. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, how do we make it better?
I honestly have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't. For me as a single person that, pays everything on their own, life is expensive. Yeah. So I love living alone and I won't give that up. Mm-hmm. To have a roommate, no thank you. But I don't know how we, and Sarnia was the cheaper place to buy a house.
Well, and it still is compared to the rest of the world, but Sarnia's catching up to the rest of the world.
It sure is, yeah. Right? Yeah, there was last year I put 4 offers in on houses and did not get one of them. So, which I think at this point I'm actually kind of thankful for. When I think about actually mowing the lawn myself, I'm like, I've never actually used a lawnmower before.
Right.
So, or shoveling snow, I'm like, I don't want to do that. So it's kind of nice.
There are advantages to renting, and then there's advantages to owning, equity and all that stuff. Yeah. But I mean, you're happy where you're sitting.
I'm content. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's really all that matters at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Focus your money on other things.
Exactly. Yeah, I got some great furniture from, my employee discount at Teppermans. So this place looks great. I'm happy with it.
It does. It's awesome. Yeah. And then, what about travel? Do you like doing anything?
Love to travel. So. Yeah, I if I could honestly move halfway across the world right now, I would. Yeah. The only thing that's really stopping me is money, and my family's here. My grandma right now is. The dementia's starting and stuff, so I've been kind of on her watch taking care of her, so I don't want to leave for that. But
I can relate to that. My father went through that.
Yeah. It's tough. There seems to be a lot of Alzheimer's, dementia people that it's a lot right now.
It's more common than you think. Do you take advantage of the Alzheimer's Society?
We're trying. It's we're working on it.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of services there for not just the patient, if you will, but the caregivers as well.
Yeah, we're looking into all of that right now. That's kind of things are starting to move along a little bit. So yeah.
Family is obviously super important to you.
Yeah.
And you talked and mentioned about your parents divorcing. You're quite young then, were you?
5, I think. 4
yeah.
or 5,
so was there? I almost think that it would be easier to go through at 5 than it would at 14, or am I wrong?
Probably. Yeah, I don't know.
Because you don't understand as much at 5.
It's true, yeah.
I'm getting 2 Christmases.
Yeah, honestly, that was the best part of it, for sure, right? 2 birthdays, 2 Christmases, 2 everything always. But, I think that if it stays at 5 and things are resolved, then it would be easier, but if you go through life and everything's still going on, then you still have to deal with it. So sorry.
What's the most important thing about family to you?
That everybody has your back, communication, just love, honestly. I I have a very good relationship with every single person in my family. My sister, I talk to her every single day. She's out in Halifax.
What does she do?
She is a costume designer for theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, some more design.
Yeah. And my brother's in architectural design. So everybody's very artsy. My brother's a really good guitar player. Sister acts and stuff.
Yeah.
And, does burlesque dancing and everything. So everybody's very artsy in the family. We have no idea where we got it from.
Right.
Literally no idea.
Okay. Because your dad's a character.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's commenting right now in the Facebook comments, but and what's your mom do? The horses, right? No,
mom's her full-time job is the teacher for the hearing and deaf.
Oh.
Hearing and deaf for the St. Clair Catholic, however you say that.
Okay.
That school board. St. Clair
the other
Catholic.
One.
I don't know. It's a
we
tongue
know what
twister.
You mean.
And then she's also a freelance interpreter, so sign language interpreter. So
that would be interesting.
She's so good at it; it's insane. She's
like interpreting what?
Sign language.
Sign language. Yeah.
Deaf. She's she does emergency. I would say, if I had the last name Doig, like my mom, if I would have gone into sign language, I would have been like just great because she's very good at what she does. Yeah. So and it's really cool to see. She had a dream one night. That she was talking to someone, like signing to someone, and then she woke up the next day and applied for school. And it was way back in the day, and not that she's that old, but she ended up applying for, at the time there was only Livonia, Madonna University in Livonia, like Detroit area, and she applied, she got in, and that's where she went to school, and now that's what she does.
Amazing.
So she's very good at it.
So everybody seems to be doing what they love.
Yeah. I think so. Dad just got a new job that he's absolutely loving. Yeah. So, I think so.
Cool.
Yeah.
But you still don't know where all the creativity comes from.
I have literally no idea. No idea. Yeah. My grandma can play the accordion. Well, could play the accordion. I'm not sure that she could anymore. Right. But that was really it. My dad likes to think that I got my singing from him, but that's definitely incorrect. Sorry, Dad. Sorry.
I don't think I've ever heard you sing. Well, I have, but I'm not to speak of it.
So, I'm not sure. Yeah. My mom was a dancer, but...
Well, it's a mix maybe from all different, a couple of generations of parents. And then, like growing up with, like your sister, is she older?
Yeah, 2 years older than me. Okay. Yeah. 2 years older than brother's 6 years younger.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah. Good mix going on.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's great to see that family value because I think, I look around sometimes and feel like a lot of families have lost that.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Oh, big time. Yeah. Yeah, I find it very important to just keep connected with everybody. And, and it's cool. My dad and I go for beers every single Friday night at either Ups or Bad Dog, right? Okay. That's like our Friday night thing that we always do.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
see you Friday.
Yeah. And then my mom and I, we do like theater trips. So we go to Stratford a couple times a year and just like little kind of artsy trips my mom and I do, and that's like our thing. So it's nice. I wish my sister was here so she could do them with us. But
creating memories that are implanted forever.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Boy, I'm really enjoying this conversation. I want to go back to the travel side.
Oh yeah, things. Sorry, I totally.
No, that's okay. It's okay. We're going a lot. There's no structure on the show. Trust me. And I've seen you out around town with some of your girlfriends, and you're always having fun and smiling, and you seem to be around a specific kind of people. Yeah, I kind of realized, like, you have your high school friends and stuff, and I realized that it is really important to just surround yourself with the people that make you feel good, right? And say see it to the people that don't. So, is that hard to do? Huge, really hard to do. Yeah. But not to say that I don't have relationships with those people and stuff, but I things come in waves, kind of. I just met a girl named Annette at a random party that I wasn't going to go to. She wasn't going to go to either. She's 31, single, and her and I have just like absolutely clicked, and like she's one of my best friends now. That's awesome. In the last like 7 months, right? So just things come in waves. I have tons of friends. If I was getting married tomorrow and someone was like, "Hey, pick your, wedding party," I'd have a very hard time doing so because I have so many friends. So that's always been my thing, so many influences that you've had, right? But in order to grow friends typically immediately around us. I learned a long time ago from a gentleman who said, you are the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most, right? And I've tried to live my life. And it does. And then sometimes you're in a place you think you're doing great. And then I look back now too, and I go, wow, what was I doing there? Like, you know, so are you like that too, where you look back and go, that wasn't as good a place for me
Absolutely.
to be?
Yeah. But then you just move on from it, right? And find a place that's better. So
you've got great philosophies going on.
I try.
You know? Yeah.
I try.
Do you read?
No.
Something
that I.
You sound like you do. Okay.
That's something that I've never been able to get into.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think I read a book in high school. Like, I think I just did Spark Notes the entire time.
You faked it, did you?
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. My sister's a huge reader. My mom's a huge reader. Dad bought me a Rick Mercer book for Christmas. You better read that. It's just still sitting on my bookshelf, but I haven't read it yet. So I always just want to listen to, like, even podcasts. I can't listen to a podcast because I just want to listen to music. Yeah. So.
Well, if you listen to the right kind of music, there's a message in there, right? I agree with your dad, though. You should read that book.
It's signs, too.
I know. Yeah, and it's like, and this is just another dad at this point. Another dad, okay. Yeah. You know what I tell my students? I teach at the college part-time, and my family and people I really care about. Read 10 pages of a good book try. Every day. And don't lose the word try, McKenna.
Okay.
It's dad mode kicking in now. Just 10 pages. Did you know if you read 10 pages of a good book every day, and the average book is 300 pages, that's 1 book a month. That's 12 books a year.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And you will be so much smarter.
Fair.
Not that you're not smart now, but no, that's what, because it's a perspective, right? You know, it's like, here's a book, read it. Oh, look at the size of that thing. I don't want to read it. Yeah. But 10 pages is doable every day.
That's true. If I maybe deleted TikTok, then I could get
I know,
that, so.
Right? Are you on TikTok a lot?
Of course I am. Yeah.
What do you like about TikTok? What are you watching there?
Oh my gosh. I'm always watching singing videos, always. Day in the lives. There's a few influencers that I absolutely love on there. I don't know, like literally the randomest stuff I watch, but then it's 2 hours later. I'm like, okay, I should really go to bed.
Cat videos,
everything, literally everything. I posted a couple. The very first one that I posted went viral. I got like 1.5 million on it.
Holy crap!
And then I posted a few since then that have also gotten over 1 million. That have just been like stupid, like funny videos.
Right.
And then I like to go to the States a lot shopping, which I know is bad for the economy.
No, wait a minute. We can talk about that though. Like, I mean. I get in trouble sometimes because the local, you know, but I say shop local as much as you can afford to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just the reality of it, right? You know?
Yeah, I'm not spending like $7 to $8 on a bag of shredded cheese here when I can get it in the States for $2.50, you know? So that kind of stuff. And like,
well, it's not about how much money you have, it's about how much money you don't have.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
does that feel better now that you know there's at least one person that says
yes,
it's okay?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I get it, right? You know, we do want to support local as much as we can. Let's talk about business for a second too. Like you know, being here in Sarnia all your life, business wise, what do you think's changed in our community? From are we still growing, or are we stuck?
I think that Sarnia, this is kind of how I've always felt, and maybe not always felt, but now that I'm getting into my 30s, Sarnia to me is not the best place for young single people. Okay. So we don't have a lot of places to go out. Like, you know, when I look back at it, you guys used to have the Duck, you used to have the Suburb Mule, you used to have all of these places that were fun to go, and everybody talks about
all the places that served alcohol.
But I just mean, like, Sarnia doesn't have, we have a young crowd, but it just doesn't seem like a young, does that make sense? I don't know.
Except that, I don't know, you got Mods across the street.
Yeah, I don't really usually go there, but no.
You got Patty's, you got I know, you like to dance?
No.
Oh, okay. So,
only if I've had a few drinks.
Yeah, right. Well, those are all the places we went.
Yeah,
right?
I know, but I just mean, like, we don't have a ton of options to go out here and things to do that don't revolve around just going to a bar and drinking. You know what I mean? So,
What about like Rotary clubs and stuff? There's like the after hours Rotary. That's usually a younger crowd.
I've never even.
Do you know there's like 3 different Rotary clubs in Sarnia?
I knew there was one Rotary club.
There's 3.
Okay. Right. News to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, it's just interesting to me because I get what you're saying about like the duck and the stuff, that kind of thing. But there really, I think there is more around.
Yeah.
But like, okay, let me ask this direct question. So are you looking to meet somebody?
It's like it's not on the table. If I meet somebody, then I would be.
But I mean, is that your purpose for going out, or is it just going out is to be social with your friends?
To be social with my
network
friends.
And meet new people.
Yeah, that's why I go out. But I guess that's what I mean. Sarnia's hard if you're single and 30. You know, the majority of my friends are married and have babies at this age, and so when you know it's tough to get this age and be like, okay, and then you go on the dating apps and it's all the same people that you've seen for the last.
Right, they're all
but they probably say the same thing about me because you know what I mean.
Do you use the dating apps?
No,
you're not a Tinder girl.
I get on them and then I'm like an hour and I'm like, oh, no, and then it's immediate delete. So, I downloaded them again when I went to Windsor for work because I was like, oh, it's a different city, right? But then I was like, no, I just want to meet someone organically. That's how I want to do it. I want to meet someone that's musical and.
Well, just hang out in the places you like to do things. That's what I say.
Yeah. It's I need to meet someone that's like on the same level as socialness of me, or else it's not going to work. So
they got to keep up with you.
Huge, yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
And I would guess they would have to be family oriented. And we're putting we're filling out the dating bio right here on the show.
Yeah.
No, that's great. And we got away from it again. They would need to love to travel. Right?
Here we are again.
Where have you been that's been exciting to you?
I did one summer I worked at Patty's, saved every single one of my tips, and I went to Australia and New Zealand for 2 months.
Wow, I'm so jealous. I have friends in New Zealand.
I have family in New Zealand.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's a awesome country. I spent so much money, but it's okay. That's what I did.
It was an experience that you paid for, though.
It was, my friend Erica was working as an au pair over there.
What's that?
Like a nanny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she was working in Melbourne. However you say that with their Melbourne, whatever. So I went to go.
Depends what accent you say it with.
Yeah. So I went to go visit her. That was like my first kind of solo trip. And it was just a blast. I stayed in hostels and stuff and met so many cool people from around the world. I ended up meeting a guy from New Zealand in Australia and we got along really great. So I met up with him again when I went to New Zealand, and it was a blast. I'm so happy that I did that. I wish I could do more of that because it was just the best.
Put it on your list.
Yeah, honestly, I really, really want to backpack Europe. Like that's a top thing for me.
I was just in Budapest not too long ago, and I've never gone that way. And I was by myself. Poor Jennifer, she was worried that I wasn't going to be able to find the airport.
Figure it out.
But it's the big building where the planes land.
Yeah,
but normally I say that, and Jessica, she normally plans all that stuff. But I was by myself, and what an experience it really was. And I'm 50. I'll be 55 in July. So different than if I was 30 experience, but a great one. And I really found the transportation system amazing over there. And I think that's why so many people choose to backpack across, like $10 a day. You can get all over the country.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to do it so bad.
Would you do that on your own?
In a heartbeat.
That doesn't scare you?
No.
Does it scare Dad?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it scared both Dad and Mom. But then my mom, I told her how much fun it was, and she just went last summer to England by herself. And she's like, now I don't want to travel with anybody. I'm like, it's so much more fun to do it by yourself because then you meet people and you don't have to worry about anybody else's schedule.
Yeah,
and it's just
you don't have to feel like
you do your own
my
thing.
wife. Well, for me, it's like my wife's not having fun here, which happens a lot. I get pretty sometimes she's like, I'm just happy staying home or whatever. So
and then my mom took us to Ireland. Cole and I went, and
I want to go there so bad.
Awesome. It was. We just we went for 10 days and just drove. Not Northern Ireland. So we did a bunch of cities, but some places we didn't actually have places booked to stay, and it was kind of a scramble to find places. It was really fun. I got a tattoo in Ireland.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So,
you know how many tattoos I have?
0.
That many, right there.
I got one in Ireland. I got one in Cuba. I still have a leg somehow.
Right,
so,
right.
It's only $20. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Dad was not impressed with me once.
But that's an adventure, right?
Oh, huge.
Like I mean, if parents didn't speak up and say what they thought, they wouldn't be parents.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, but eventually you're just going to do what you want to do
exactly.
anyway, right?
Yeah.
Do you, back to that parenting thing though, do you need approval? Like, do you do things with needing approval first, or do you say, this is what I do, and even though mom and dad aren't going to like it, it's something I want to do?
I'm actually really bad at asking them for their approval for everything. And even if I like want to do it and I'm going to do it, they're like, no, and then I just feel guilty, so I won't do it. So even the other day, like, I bought a patio set, and I texted them, should I buy this patio set? And they're like, do what you want with your money. And I was like,
that's a
but
no.
then I felt guilty about it. And then I was like, no, I want this patio set. Like, I was like, I'm going to buy this patio set. So
I do that to myself. Hey, it's your money, fella. If you think that's something you should do, then
and then we just go,
by all means. And that is a definition, that is Morse code or digital, like it's code for, no, we don't think so.
I still did it, so whatever. Dad said, you already have one. I said,
I'm getting a phone call from your father after this, you know, right?
Mine's old from IKEA when I lived in Toronto. Like, it's old. So I was like, I need a new comfy one. And one went on sale for like $300 on Wayfair. Yeah. So
are you good with money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
know, like, you plan for the future? Do you go, okay, like sooner I got to retire and all that stuff?
Yeah, I have a financial advisor.
Okay, good.
So yeah, mom and dad have always been very big on that, investing money and stuff. So yeah,
it's a good conversation to have, money, because a lot of people don't like to talk about money. Whether it's they're embarrassed they don't have enough, or they don't want to share they got too much or something, right? You know?
And you know what? It's been an adjustment for me. Like, I served for 11 years, right? So the cash flow that you get with that is,
of course you claim every dollar.
Always, yeah, totally. But, you know, now I have
it's a different lifestyle.
Yeah, a full-time job with, you know, great benefits at Teppermans and a pension. But I feel like, I'm like, oh, I should maybe get a serving job part-time. I'm like, it just, you know, it's one of those things where you look at serving and you're like, oh yeah, you make this much money and it's awesome. But then you look at it and you're like, do I really want to be doing that when I'm 60 years old, right?
Well, you've always got cash in your pocket.
Exactly.
You've always, and it's an environment that you have to be careful in, and like guilty.
Yeah.
And that can be difficult.
Yeah.
And it's, but it can be hard on your back and your feet and your shoulders.
Yeah. Which is, so a couple shifts a week.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But you were at Patty's for, what did you say, 7 years?
7
years, and you had a lot of fun there too, and enjoyed it there.
That's like my second family, Patty's. Right. So yeah, everybody, it was the best.
You still get back there and hang out?
Oh yeah, I was just there the other day. St. Patrick's Day, I was there. I left my credit card there because I started the tab. I wasn't actually drunk when I left, but we were just taking care of someone else who was drunk, and I left my credit card there. Didn't go pick it up for like a week until Friday. I went to go pick it up, and then, you know, I was like, oh, everybody's working, I'll stay for a beer, and it was nice to see everyone. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I do miss that environment a lot. So
so back to the travel thing, like, are there places you haven't gone yet that you like? Do you have a map on a wall with the buttons in it that says I want to go here?
I really want to go to Greece. That's a big one for me. I don't know. Like, I don't really necessarily. Europe is my main place that I want to go. I would just, if I was there, I'd probably just take advantage and literally go everywhere. Yeah. So yeah. I discovered when I was there, like, again, it's kind of central. You can go any direction. Like, you can even get on a plane for like $50. I know.
Or get on a train in 45 minutes. Like, I could have been in Austria or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Even just like doing little day trips where you know, Mom and I went to Plymouth in Michigan last summer, because we went to we go to Pine Knob a lot. We try to go to Pine Knob at least twice a year, and Keith Urban was playing, so we went to go see Keith. It was awesome.
You country girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah. True. And then we just like did these little day trips around, and you know, it's just cool to be in a new spot.
There's so much around
that's so close to us, and people don't even know. Right?
Have you ever been to the Fox Theater?
Yes. Yeah.
Jason and I just went there to see Jordan Peterson.
Cool.
And how have I never been to the Fox Theater all the time I've lived here? The decor is just, and I got really lucky when I was going in. There was like an usher guy there, and I said, I don't know where the heck I'm going. He's like, okay, right here. said, this is beautiful, amazing. I said, do they have like tours and everything? And he was like, I got a flyer right here. Perfect. And this guy had worked there for a super long time.
Cool.
And the history in that place, I was just like, yeah, why have I never been here?
Yeah.
And then there's the Fillmore, right?
Yeah, I love
and
that
whole area around Comerica Park has all been really rebuilt well. Yeah.
I think I saw Demi Lovato at the Fox Theater a long time ago.
Oh, is that
awesome.
right?
Yeah. So okay. I'm a big concert person. So huge. Yeah. I got what do I have booked this year? Noah Kahn coming up, which I just saw him, but I'm also very excited to see him again. Chris Stapleton and Green Day. So,
Green Day?
Yeah.
Really?
So that'll be sweet.
Interesting. Because that's kind of, what is Green Day old school? No, it's old school. What's that, 90s?
Yeah.
Late 80s, maybe?
Yeah. They've always been good, so, yeah.
Do you have a specific genre that or are you the eclectic girl?
When it comes to singing, I definitely lean more towards, I mean, I grew up doing, like, musical theater, so I love Broadway and all that stuff, right? But I definitely lean more towards like singer-songwriter, so like Sarah Bareilles, Joni Mitchell, who else, I guess. Those are like my top kind of influences. Sarah Bareilles is like one of my favorite ever. I would pay so much money to go and see her in concert. But I also love country. I don't know. I have a very like kind of folky voice. It took me a long time to like come into my voice because I always compared myself to all these, huge vocalists that were massive big singers and that could belt like crazy, and I was always like, oh, I'm not good because I can't do that. But then I kind of figured out my thing, and now I'm like, okay, no, I'm good. It's just I needed to figure out what I was good at, right? So I've always
but you can learn too.
Like, you can learn, but there is a point where like, there's a break in the song that I'm singing for Sarnia Sings. There is a big note in it, and it's like directly on my break where where it wants to go to my head voice or my chest voice, and I am pushing so hard to get to my chest voice because it's a big note and that's where I want it to hit. But it takes a lot, but I got there and I'm happy with who I am. There's a lot of color to my voice, and that's what I pride myself on. So,
I love your voice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's kind of, boy, there's so many directions we could take this, right? But that's okay. This is the squirrel interview. That's all right. I want to go back to like Carrie Beauchamp you mentioned in there. And she's just amazing.
The best,
right? Yeah. What did you learn from her besides the musical part?
Just like presence and being confident. You know what? There was a lot. I still am, excuse my French, scared shitless to sing in front of Carrie all of the time.
Yeah.
And she knows that. As soon as
Why?
I don't know. She's always just been someone that I've very much looked up to. She's amazing at what she does, and there's not, like, honestly, there's probably not one other, like, I sing in front of everybody, but the second I have an audition with Carrie, she knows. I just panic. I don't know what it is.
You really need her approval.
And I remember this was a few years ago, but I had never gotten a solo in Nightingales. And, I always tried out and never got one. And then I tried out, and they were announcing, well, it was the first Noel, which is a pretty big solo in Nightingales.
It is, yeah.
The whole, everybody's backing you up. It's pretty cool. So I remember being at one of our like full group rehearsals at Central when we used to do them.
Yep.
And she started playing the first Noel, and everybody was like, who is doing the solo? Like, who's doing this? And she went, oh crap, McKenna. And then I just remember singing it, like panicked because I was like singing in front of all these people at this point. But then I ran into the bathroom, called my mom, and just bawled. And I was like, I finally got a solo. Like, I was like, I have the first Noel solo, and she was like bawled too, right? So ever since then, I've been very lucky that I've done well in Nightingales since. But she's just always been someone that's not intimidating, but she's just so good at what she does, and so it feels good to like finally be there, I guess.
I think you could have said intimidating. I love Carrie too, but I'd be like, wow, I really not intimidating in a bad way.
No, and not like as a person,
because I think first of all, from experience, I know, like, first of all, even if you get the audition, that's already something in itself.
Yeah.
And then to go through to be picked, like, she's looking to put on pro shows, right? And she does,
yeah.
right? I mean, Nightingales now I think is over 30 years.
I think it was
close to it.
I think it's going to be 30.
Yeah.
What was it last year? I don't even remember. I've been in it.
But
so
it's
a long
time.
A lot.
And I remember, and I miss going. I haven't been able to go the last few years, but I went for several years. But I could never get an interview with Carrie.
No.
She just is, I keep trying.
Yeah.
She's like, just not that person. She is there for everyone else. She
Huge.
really is. And she pushes people. She's another one, surrounds herself with the right kind of people. So do you still talk to her?
Oh yeah. She's got and that's the other thing with Nightingales is like, I've been a part of it for so long that all of these people have seen me grow up. And that's another thing. Like the cast comes together to build the set. The cast comes together to do everything. And like everybody helps to make that show happen.
Yeah.
And Carrie's very appreciative of all of that. And, it's just it's a family. I love it. I look forward to it every single year.
She's raised a lot of children.
She honestly has, but she does say that all the time. Yeah. Yeah. That would be like, if I ever left Sarnia, that would be probably but a huge thing that probably the biggest thing that I would miss would be Nightingales. I love doing Nightingales.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's a fabulous production.
Yeah.
And even I remember one year I went and saw it, and I was it wasn't a great year, I was feeling that, and then I was like, Christmas, and I was like, okay, and we went to Nightingales, and then I come out of there and I was just like,
okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something
I'm going to be okay, and there was something magical that happened in it, and I know that's a cliche saying, but it really was magical.
Yeah.
That the emotions hit and all that.
Yeah.
So that's a huge impact.
150 people singing harmony, like just okay.
I'm always right. Like I'm always amazed, like putting 3 people up there.
Yeah.
To each play an instrument and to make a song.
Yeah.
Never mind, like you said, 150 plus sometimes.
And kids that are like, I don't know how young they are now, but like
try to control that.
Crazy. Yeah, she's a woman of many talents. So yeah,
fabulous. Well, if you could put the good word in for me. So,
okay, we'll try.
David Burrows keeps wanting.
I will do that.
I'm going to ask you again, Carrie. We're going to keep going.
She watches this.
I don't know if she does or not, but
we'll see.
You're really what haven't you done yet that is something of because you talk a lot about there's some things I want to do, but I just don't think I can. Like there's that confidence thing you're still kind of working on, it sounds like a bit.
Yeah.
Is there something you really want to do that you're just like, but I don't know?
Probably like start my own interior business, honestly. I am so grateful for everything that Teppermans has given me. I want to do my own thing, eventually, and that's not anytime in the near future, but
we could have a plan, right?
Yeah, it's something that I always I want to work for myself. I
think more people should. Don't get me started on that one.
I just want to be successful at that. I guess I've always kind of put it on the back burner because I, panic a little bit about kitchen and bath and stuff. But I passed interior decorating and I did that course. And I remember as soon as I finished that, I was like, and I passed everything, right? And I didn't just pass everything, I did well in it.
Yeah.
And I had never done well in school. And so I finished that and I just remember sitting down and crying and being like, okay, I did that. Like I can do that. So I just need to put my mind to it, and that takes a lot to start a business, and it'll be a while, but I'll get there.
The toughest part of anything is starting.
Yeah.
And I think, I have a saying, and I borrowed it from, I don't know where, but most people don't plan to fail. They fail to have a plan.
Yeah. So,
and then the struggle is, where do I start?
Exactly.
But if you can learn, and I'm getting philosophical, dad mode again, sorry. Yeah. She's like, I know. Set the goal first. A lot of people go, well, why set the goal if I don't know how I'm going to do it? No, you set the goal first and then go back and go, okay, so what do I need to do? Okay, so I need to learn kitchens and baths better. Mm-hmm. Okay, because I'm strong here, over here. So maybe I partner with somebody who brings that in. There's all different ways.
Networking is a huge part of it, right? So
that is for sure. But I think a lot of people go entrepreneurship, like my wife said to me, well, you're an entrepreneur. Wait, I wasn't always.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is a skill also that
Absolutely.
can be learned, right?
Yeah.
And it is scary as hell.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, for sure it is. But I think I can do it. It's just a matter of,
you can.
I can do it. I can.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, I want to go into it prepared. So I want to be prepared, and I will take the time that I need so that I'm walking into it.
Be prepared, but don't be perfect.
No.
You can't.
I'm sure my very first kitchen that I ever do will not be perfect.
Here's why you should read the Rick Mercer book.
I'll start 10 pages a day.
10 pages a day. I'm checking in with you every day.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
She's on the hook, Dad. You're welcome. And the 10 pages a day will make a difference. Henry Ford said there are two kinds of people in this world.
Okay.
Those that say they can and those that say they can't. And they're both right. So I'm going to try.
I can.
Not be like Nike and just do it.
Just
right?
do it.
Okay,
Good,
Dad
that's
time
good.
over. But it is important to what was I going to say there? Or it's nice to hear you talk about what you want to do, and it's in there somewhere. Timing's everything too.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
It is, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I don't think that and that's the thing. I don't think that I would be there like without having this, Teppermans experience. I think I'm very grateful to work with, to do what I do there. So that's taught me a lot, which has been helpful. So
it sounds like they've been very supportive too. And
I actually have Sarnia. I mean, I've worked in a few stores now, obviously. I have the best team in Sarnia. I love Sarnia store.
That's amazing.
But I have a good team also. Like my team is every store, but the people that I work with.
Yeah, well, you're here often though, right?
Yeah, I've truly never had managers as good as these people that I've had.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's nice to walk into a place and just know you're
So you
respected.
get up when it's time to go to work at Teppermans and you look forward to walking through the door.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You're winning over most already because a lot of people that can't say that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do wish, and they know I wish we were busier sometimes, like my department specifically, but that people don't know that we have this program. So it's, and I try to network as much as I can. It's hard to sometimes. So there are times where I'm like, okay, I need some customers, but So
anybody can walk into Teppermans and talk to you, and they don't have to buy anything.
No, literally, it's a free service that we run. So they can book online and do like a free virtual consultation with me, or I go through that way. Sometimes it's easier if they book online because if I'm off that day, then one of my other coworkers can take that client and do the initial consultation. Then we talk about the designs. We gets passed over and I start doing the designs and then bring that person back in, right? But yeah, like it's literally a free service where you're getting vision boards, space planning, and 3D renderings, all for free.
Jennifer.
So like it's cool. So and people don't know about it. So
you're amazing, and I have enjoyed watching from afar. And of course, we talk occasionally. We talk more often, sometimes in a week, and then other times not. And then I always talk to your dad. I'm always asking about you, and I like that we've become friends.
Me too.
And I'm really proud of everything that you've been doing. And,
thank you.
And
same with you. So,
oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. But thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Awesome. McKenna Farmer. And we're going to get some of those links how you can book her and talk to her and find out more. And of course, we'll put out the Sarnia Sings, selfish plug, one more time. Really looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Thanks as always for watching, everybody. Click the like, the love, and the most important button, the share button, so that we can share McKenna's wonderful story and everybody else I have here on the show. But as always, that's all the time we got for you this week. Have a great week and even better weekend. We'll see you next time right here on the show. Bye-bye for now. Wasn't that easy?
Yeah.